let me take you through some good news for Bengalurians largely. We're looking at the city now, home to millionaires in abundance. So Bengaluru stands at number 3 for the most number of millionaires. So certainly looking at this trend, millionaires are on the move and are on the growth path. The big question, where are they heading though? According to the latest report of global consultancy Henley and Partners, while legacy hubs like New York, Paris and Hong Kong still host the world's rich, a new breed of wealth capitals now emerging. Cities that not only offer financial opportunity but a better lifestyle as well. And leading that pack is India. Among the world's fastest growing millionaire hubs in 2025, 3 Indian cities have made it to the top 20. Bengaluru ranks number 3 globally with a stunning 120% jump in millionaire growth over the last decade. It's now rubbing shoulders with global giants. Delhi and Mumbai are not far behind, ranked at number 14 and number 18 respectively, with an 82% and 69% rise in millionaires respectively. The message is of course clear. India is no longer just watching. Global wealth shifts. India is driving it. But here's the reality check. Can India's infrastructure really keep up? We've all seen how just one day of rain can really bring Bengaluru, Mumbai, Delhi all to its knees. So what will it take really to transform these cities into truly world-class wealth hubs? How is this wealth really trickling down? And now that India is officially the 4th largest economy in the world, what does this actually mean for ordinary citizens? Does millionaire growth really trickle down to jobs, better salaries, or a better quality of life? Well, joining me tonight, Dilip Chenoy, former General Secretary, FICCI. We also have Subhomoy Bhattacharjee, Consulting Editor, Business Standard. Thank you very much, both of you. Let me start with our business professional here, Dilip Chenoy. Your quick take on India really becoming the millionaire hub. We're looking at Bengaluru ranking at number 3, and I'm very proud of that. But how far does that really trickle down to the common man and our city's infrastructure? Clearly not world class.
Yeah, I think there are many questions in that. And first of all, thank you for having me on the. There are many, and if you look at the data, right, especially the figures that are up on the screen right now, if you look at Bangalore has grown off a smaller base. So the growth rate is possibly higher, but the numbers are still, smaller than Delhi and Mumbai. So I think that's one of the things that we need to look at here. The second thing which the numbers actually hide or you're not there, but I think the sectors that contributed to this growth have actually diverse. They're diversifying into clean energy, into fintech, into healthcare, and also parts of manufacturing. So I think, like you said, the world is shifting, witnessing a shift in the wealth and where wealth is being generated and concentrated. And of course, while Bangalore ranks number 3, Delhi 14, Mumbai 18, of course, it just shows that startups, IT services, fintech, and growing global investments are leading to greater growth in these cities. Yes, but you also mentioned where they are moving. Interestingly, high net worth individuals are increasingly relocating in countries and cities that offer political stability, efficient urban capacity, clean and livable environments, and a very strong legal framework, and also reasonable taxation. So the same report talks about Dubai, Singapore, and Auckland emerging as major destinations. And as a country, we need to reflect on this. Are our wealthy staying or leaving, and why? I also chair the Bharat Web3 Association, which looks at blockchain, virtual digital assets, and the metaverse. And we found that 26% of the founders who started in India have actually gone to different geographies like Dubai, Singapore, or Dublin or Delaware, because those countries are much more receptive to such people. So it's a combination of livability of cities, infrastructure available in cities, and also the whole economic environment and ecosystem. And I think a lot of them look at taxation and other issues.
Okay, so in that case, is this old wealth Subhomoy Bhattacharjee could give us a little sense. Subhomoy, is this old wealth versus new economy? What would you pick here? I mean, looking at the trend, Bengaluru, Delhi, Mumbai topping that list, and Bengaluru number 3 in the world makes me very happy. But where is this money? Is this really going down to the middle class?
No, I think that's not a fair comment.
Comparison, yes, but how do we really rejoice over these numbers?
What's it's essentially showing is that the scope of wealth generation, that's what this report is talking about. It's not about people, what they're doing with that money in terms of their recreation, in terms of where they are parking their assets. I mean, even if you look at these people who are there in Bengaluru or in Shenzhen or in Hong Kong, it's not necessarily that they keep the money parked in their respective geographies. That was a different question. That's a widely dispersed thing. But what the report does show is that the scope of wealth creation is definitely becoming far higher in cities like Delhi, Mumbai, in Bengaluru, Delhi, Mumbai. And that is the big takeaway from this report, that if you want to create wealth, these are the cities where you can operate, create business, create the network, create the opportunities to be able to service a global customer. Now, that customer could be from anywhere, any particular place. The GCCs, for instance, which are now dotting India and now very big centers, they're not necessarily servicing India, but they are located in India. They're coming increasingly to India because this is the place from where you can source the talent to be able to work it out. As Dilip was talking about, you get the power, you get the connectivities, you get the data opportunities, you get the skilled people. That is necessary, and that is why it is drawing these people into these places. Yeah.
All right. So from the looks of it here, as for what I see, the millionaires are finding their home and they seem to be having the right environment, ecosystem. But at the same time, our cities are not world class. How do we ensure this money, if at all, can be directed to areas that could benefit a larger population? Dilip Chenoy, are we really looking at such millionaires repurposing their wealth for the larger benefit?
So I think a lot of the millionaires are doing 2 or 3 things here, and the companies are doing some different things, right? So a lot of the large companies, especially those that are in the top 500 or 1,000, including 2,000 companies, and a lot of small and medium companies also are investing a lot of their surplus or the profit into CSR, and many of them are exceeding the 2% limit that is there. So you're seeing a lot of that happen, and much of it is being focused on different aspects. But if you look at Bangalore, if you look at Pune, you have very special interest groups that have emerged in these cities, led by very eminent people, and they're looking at how to improve the city and how to improve the life in those cities. The other thing that individuals are actually doing, and that's very interesting, and high net worth individuals, and the number of high net worth individuals is increasing over the last few years. They're investing their money in startups. Some of them are angel investors. Some are, investing in actually in Series A or B or C rounds. So a lot of the wealth is going to promote entrepreneurship there. And just to make a point, it's not necessarily the older, the elder generation, the people who made their money before. If you look at Shark Tank, for example, they're all the people who are cutting checks. There are the first generation entrepreneurs and started all new businesses and could qualify to be startups themselves. So that's what is happening. But the cities really, to become world class, they have to transform. And first of all, we want resilient infrastructure, right? Most of the cities are in a build mode. Whether it's Bangalore, the metro is coming up, so there's a huge challenge there. In Mumbai, you've had the recent development of the coastal road. You have other activities going up. Metro is kind of being implemented there too. And of course, you require a lot of smart governance. And to your point, there's a requirement of public-private partnerships to address specific issues of infrastructure. And unfortunately, we've not looked at that very significantly across all our urban cities. We need sustainable urban design, sustainable mobility, and we need to rethink our zoning laws and all of that thing that we've done.
Correct.
Make it simple for people to actually stay and enjoy, living in a city, access to healthcare, access to entertainment, access to world-class shopping experiences, etc. So they don't have to go anywhere. They get it all in Bangalore, Delhi, Pune, Bombay, wherever you.
All right. Well, a final word, Shubhomoy. How do we make this wealth inclusive and not just exclusive? Well, we know that there are multiple millionaires, even billionaires, who reside in Bengaluru. From Bengaluru, they've really hit the gold, the treasure trove. But to kind of make it inclusive is really what we are hoping. Your word of advice.
Well, that's where I'll differ. If we are saying we want it to be inclusive, then obviously what we are saying that we make these cities islands of good infrastructure is not possible. If it's going to be inclusive, it's a democratic country. Bengaluru, Mumbai, or Delhi cannot prosper as smart cities with water being flooded, taken out very fast, all sorts of facilities there, while other parts of the country sort of catch up gradually. That simply cannot be then the system in which we are talking about. What we are talking about is, and this is, remember, in 2005, Percy Mystery Committee came up with the blueprint of Mumbai as a global financial hub. And this is the same question that they wrestled with. That if you want to create Mumbai as a place where the rich come and play and plug in, then in that case, the infrastructure of Mumbai has to be disconnected from the rest of India to be created as a financial center with its own governance, with its own mayoral system, with its finances totally out from the purview of the state governments. Are we talking about that? You just kept on saying inclusive. If we are talking about inclusive, then Bengaluru has to develop with the rest of the state. In that case, the development policies for Bengaluru has to be coinciding with what the other parts of the state want. So infrastructural development is a different ballgame altogether. And I don't think infrastructure of the sort that we're talking about, the drainage and others, is what is making the differentiator for these cities. Again, this report is about wealth creation possibilities which is happening from these cities. The development of these cities as a smart city to live in. And remember, Barcelona or other cities like compared with Atlanta, which is a wealth-creating city, but Barcelona is a livable city. Barcelona doesn't have billionaires, but Atlanta has. So there's a difference about who's making this wealth and which cities are making smart decisions to use that wealth. So these are different questions altogether, and that's how we'll have to look at them.
All right. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you and Dilip for joining us on that.